Europe is a vast continent, home to many peoples and cultures that have shaped human history. But have you ever wondered where the European peoples truly come from? What if the Holy Scriptures contain clues about their lineage? Could there be a hidden ancestral link between Europeans and the biblical accounts? In this video, we will explore Europe's deep roots to uncover the hidden origin of the white peoples according to the Bible. Get ready for an eye-opening journey through the scriptures and forgotten history. Stay with us as we reveal secrets that may change the way you see the past. The hidden origin of Europeans according to the Bible. Europe is a large continent made up of many countries, each with its own culture and history. Among them are Germany, Austria, Poland, Hungary, France, Italy, Romania, and many others. But did you know that the Holy Scriptures mention the origins of the European peoples? The Bible names the nations that later became the peoples of Europe, tracing them back to their ancestors. In Genesis chapter 10, we find genealogical records that point to the forefathers of many civilizations. For those who study the Bible with an understanding of its symbolism and historical context, the scriptures reveal fascinating details about where different peoples and nations came from. Among these are the Greeks and Macedonians, who are mentioned as direct descendants of Japheth, one of Noah's sons. Ancient genealogies and Jewish traditions confirm that Japheth is seen as the original ancestor of Europeans. Just as Javan, one of Japheth's sons, is identified as the ancestor of the Greeks, other branches of Japheth's lineage are believed to have formed various European nations. This knowledge, preserved through generations, connects biblical traditions with historical records, giving us a unique view of the origins of European peoples and their connection to ancient times. The name Japheth holds a deep meaning. Traditionally, it is interpreted as beautiful or pale, but it may also be linked to the idea of expansion or multiplication. This interpretation makes sense when we consider how European peoples expanded over history, colonizing lands and influencing civilizations worldwide. According to biblical tradition, Europeans are called Japhethites because they are direct descendants of Japheth, Noah's son. But this concept is not just found in the Bible. The influence of Japheth extends beyond religion. The Indo-European language family, which includes English, German, Russian, Ukrainian, French, Spanish, and many others, is also known as the Japhethite language family. This connection links the biblical ancestor of the European peoples to the formation of Western civilizations. The relationship between language and biblical tradition shows that European culture and history were recorded not only in sacred texts, but also in the way languages and identities developed over time. The Bible mentions the ancestors of European peoples in Genesis 10 and in the Book of Chronicles. These passages include Japheth's lineage, listing his 7 sons and their descendants. By studying their names, we can trace the origins of ancient Europeans. In ancient times, even the Israelites referred to the European peoples as Japhethites, and sometimes as Javanites, especially when talking about the Greeks, who were known as the children of Javan. In Genesis, the descendants of Japheth are listed by name. His sons were Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshech, and Tiras. Gomer's sons were Ashkenaz, Riphath, and Togarmah, while Javan's sons included Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanim. An interesting fact is that Ashkenaz is identified in the Bible as the ancestor of the Germanic peoples. This connection has remained throughout history and is recognized in Jewish tradition, with Ashkenazi Jews being an example of this heritage. The link between the Bible and the formation of European peoples offers an intriguing perspective on how ancient Hebrews understood genealogy and the spread of nations. It is well known that Ashkenazi Jews refer to Germany and other areas inhabited by Germanic peoples as Ashkenaz. This name comes from ancient Jewish tradition and the biblical belief that Ashkenaz is the forefather of the Germanic peoples, including the Germans. He is also believed to be the ancestor of Scandinavian populations and other Germanic groups. Similarly, there is a biblical figure named Riphath. According to ancient interpretations, the Irish people, who are direct descendants of the Celts, believed in their biblical ancestry. They saw Riphath as the ancestor of the Celtic peoples. Riphath was the son of Gomer and the grandson of Japheth, making him the forefather of the Celtic tribes that spread across Europe. In addition to Riphath's descendants, other sons of Japheth are also linked to European populations. A well-known example is Madai, who is mentioned in the Bible. Madai is often identified as the ancestor of a nation that came from Japheth's lineage. He is believed to be the forefather of the people who settled in present-day Iran, known as the Aryan or Iranian peoples, called the Madaites in the Bible. Among them were the Medo-Persians, whose name closely resembles that of Madai. This suggests that Madai was the ancestor of the Medite tribes, which later became the Medes, Persians, Parthians, and other groups of ancient Persia. Another group of names in Genesis 10 includes Magog, Tubal, and Meshech. But who were these figures? Tubal and Meshech are said to be the ancestors of the Slavic peoples, including Russians and Ukrainians. This view is based on the link between these biblical names and the early history of the region. Many scholars who study biblical genealogies and ancient nations believe that Russia and Ukraine are the land of Gog and Magog, with Tubal and Meshech as their ancestors. Understanding who these figures are is key to interpreting biblical prophecies, especially in books like Revelation, Daniel, Ezekiel, and Isaiah. For instance, Magog, Tubal, and Meshech are believed to be the forefathers of Slavic peoples, while Ashkenaz is seen as the ancestor of Germanic groups. However, it is important to note that Germanic and Slavic peoples are separate groups, though they share a common European ancestry. Another significant biblical figure is Tarshish, one of Japheth's sons. Historical and genealogical studies suggest that Tarshish was the ancestor of the Etruscans, an ancient people who influenced the early Italians and Romans. While Romans were not exclusively descended from the Etruscans, their cultural and genetic heritage played a key role in shaping Roman identity. Additionally, Romans also had ancestry linked to Javan, another son of Japheth. Studying the biblical origins of European peoples helps us understand their deep historical and cultural connections, giving us a broader view of ancient civilizations. A fascinating fact about Javan, Japheth's son, is that he was not only the ancestor of the Greeks, but also of other closely related groups. These peoples shared common cultural and historical roots with the Greeks in ancient times. Another key point is that the names of Japheth's descendants led to the creation of many nations, with variations in spelling across languages like Hebrew, Greek, and Aramaic. These changes happened over time due to language evolution after the Tower of Babel. According to the Bible, language diversity was a result of human pride, which led to the division of one original language, sometimes called the Adamic language. From this split, many languages and dialects emerged, shaping the world we know today. Among Javan's sons, one notable figure is Elisha, identified as the ancestor of the Hellenes, or ancient Greeks. The Hellenes formed the foundation of Greek identity, and Elisha, Japheth's grandson, is often seen as one of their early forefathers. Another important descendant of Javan is Tarshish, frequently mentioned in the Bible. He is considered the ancestor of the Tartessians, a people who lived in the Iberian Peninsula in ancient times. The Tartessians were the earliest known inhabitants of the region, suggesting that the Portuguese and Spanish have some ancestry linked to Tarshish. While the Portuguese also have other Japhethite and Semitic influences, their genealogy, according to the Bible, traces back to Tarshish, showing the mix of different roots in their formation. The European peoples trace their lineage back to Japheth, making them Japhethites. This connection ties modern civilizations to biblical history, highlighting the deep influences that shape today's cultures. May God bless you all, and see you soon.
Hello, dear viewers. Thank you for watching our channel, Wisdom of the Bible. I personally invite you to subscribe to our channel. It supports us and helps us create more videos. Thank you, and God bless you.